This is my take on Ryzeal post Maze of the Master. For the main deck, I have 3 copies of each prominent Ryzeal monster, as well as 1 node. This ratio for pure is pretty straightforward, and will remain like this for pure until we get Alliance Impact with Star Ryzeal, or if they limit X, for example. And for the spell searchers, I play 3 copies of Bonfire. As long as this card remains at 3, we'll play 3 copies in Ryzeal, because it is better than Tachyon, seeing as it does not have to put a card back. But this card is likely to go to 1 on our next ban list to push sales for 7th Tachyon. Ryzeal Cross. So the reason why I'm playing 3 copies of Ryzeal Cross, while it's mostly seen as a one-off being a brick. A lot of people have the mentality that you have to handtrap Duodrive when you play against a Ryzeal deck. However, if they were to handtrap the Duodrive because they can't answer the Detonator, then it is much better for you to hard draw Cross, so your Duodrive doesn't have to resolve. I'll show a combo of that at the end of the profile. Then I play 1 copy of Plugin, then I have 3 copies of triple tactical talents in the main deck, and 1 called by the Grave. Then for my hand traps, I play 3 copies of Ash, 3 copies of Nibiru, 3 copies of Fuvalos, 3 Veiler, and 3 Imperm. For the extra deck, I have 1 copy of Haggard Lizardos, 1 number 102, 1 copy of number 41 Bagoose Got a Terribly Tired Tapir, 2 copies of Eclipse Twins, 1 Evil Swarm Excitonite, 1 Tornado Dragon, 1 number 60 Dugares the Timeless, 2 copies of Ryzeal Duodrive. As I talked about before with Cross, you don't need to resolve this card, so them hand-trapping Duodrive as opposed to hand-trapping Detonator can actually be good for you. You could argue playing a third Detonator, and that would probably be the 16th or 17th card in the extra deck, but I really like having 2 Duodrive. So if you go for the play where you want to attach a Ryzeal with Duodrive, use X to send Duodrive so you can attach a fire and not a light. Therefore, they cannot Bestial you. Then I play 1 copy of Abyss Dweller and 1 copy of Typhon. And for the side deck, I have 3 copies of Purulio and 3 copies of Meowths. 1 Duster and 2 Lightning Storm. Then I side quite heavily for going first, with 3 copies of Solemn Strike and 3 copies of Solemn Judgment. So what combo do I go for when I open Cross and Ice Ryzeal? Well, I hold the Cross in my hand, there's no point to activate it yet. I don't have an Exceed to negate a card with, and it's just giving away pre-information. So I normally summon Ice, summon Sword from my deck, Sword effect to search X to my hand. Now I special summon X by sending Twins to the grave. Use X effect to search for a copy of Sword. Here I activate Cross. I overlay the Sword and the X into Detonator. Use Detonator to attach the Eclipse Twins. Then you special Sword from your hand. Then you overlay both of these into a Duodrive. A lot of the time, if your opponent opens just 1 hand trap, be it Ash or a Veiler, they will hold it for the Duodrive, assuming that they can at least play through a Detonator. If they were to Veiler or Ash the Duodrive, you have Cross to negate with detaching from Detonator. At least if they were to pair a Nib, you could at least get the Twins effect off to summon back the Detonator. But what if they have Impermanence? Since you have Detonator on the field, they should Imperm on summon of the Duodrive. Because if you go activate Duodrive's effect, they chain Imperm, you chain Detonator, pop, Duodrive. Duodrive then resolve, detaching 2 from the Detonator and searching you 2 cards. Here you would just search Plugin and Node, and you can get a draw of Cross by putting back 2 Ryzeal cards. Node send away the Detonator to make any rank 4, be it Baguska or Abyss Dweller or Dugares to draw 2 additional cards. And in your opponent's turn, you can use Plugin to bring back the Detonator, Detonator to attach the Eclipse Twins under it, and a Ryzeal from your deck with the plugin. So what if they know about this and they just Imperm the Duodrive on summon? So your board looks like this, you summon Duodrive and they immediately Imperm, because they know that you can use Detonator to pop the Duodrive. Here I would use Detonator, detach the Sword, to pop the Duodrive in response to the Imperm, just to get it into the graveyard. This makes it so that when your Twins and Detonator dies, you can use Twins to revive the Detonator by attaching the Duodrive to it, while also getting a draw of Cross in your own turn. When you overlay these 2 for Duodrive and use Duodrive's effect, if they Veiler or Ash, you just negate 2 materials from the Duodrive's effect and searching you Node and Plugin. So what if they have Nibiru paired with either the Veiler or the Ash? Well, if they have Nib and Ash, they would have to wait for you to search with the Duodrive before they can even get a chance to use the Ash, which you would negate with the Cross. So what if they have Veiler and Nib? Well, then they would, similar to what you did with the Imperm, they would just Veiler the Duodrive on summon, so you can't pop it with Detonator. So they Veiler Duodrive. I would just negate this with the Ryzeal Cross. And then in response to your Duodrive's effective search, they would chain the Nibiru. So they would Nib away this, you get a token, and they get a Nib. Twins triggers to summon the Detonator. If they were to use Nib before you use Duodrive's effect, you could even bring back the Duodrive here, use its effect to attach because you haven't yet done so, and then you could search with this, grabbing your Node and Plugin. But yeah, this is what I aim to do when I open Ryzeal Ice and Cross in my Ryzeal deck.
If you enjoy my content, make sure to also subscribe to my second channel, linked in the description box down below.